two different seasons here. You have some of the top players in the nation facing off against each other, and certainly the top players in the Patriot League here as Patriot League play begins, and that will change the season from this point onward. At their top three, it's a three-headed dragon. You have Boyle, who's 7th in the nation in goals per game, 1st in the Patriot League in goals per game, 3rd in shots per game, 2nd in points per game with 5.33. Georgia Latch, 1st in the Patriot League in points per game with 6, 2nd in goals per game with 3.8, 3rd in assists, and 18th in goals per game in the NCAA. And Sydney Black, 3rd in the Patriot League in goals per game with 3.6, 10th in assists per game, 3rd in points per game, and 1st in shots per game. So they really dominate the Patriot League. Teams in the Patriot League can step up and answer that assignment. Some of those tough, gritty games come within your conference. It's not always against the top teams in the nation. We'll see if that's the case today. We talked about the three players on the attack on one end. It's Bridget Duffy, the midfielder for the Army Black Knights, who's done it all for them this season. She currently accounts for 1/3 of their goals this season. It comes to Armstrong, who we'll see if Carly Armstrong can take a little more of a step here in this game, as she's had a little bit of a quieter start to the season. Julia Garayak, Allison Riley, those are the players on that end of the field. They're gonna have to get the job done if Duffy's shut down through the midfield. Well, that is certainly a part of the problem, right? It's timely saves. Even if it's not great goaltending from start to finish, to get a save is going to be important. Serafini has played 212 minutes this season, has 32 saves against Bartholomew. The senior has 12 saves on the season. Again, these are not numbers that are going to blow you away. On the other side of the field, about 160 yards the other way, it's been impressive, and Loyola's gotten the goaltending. That's part of the equation. Lauren Spence, 38 goals against, 36 saves in 6 games played.
The Greyhounds.
As crucial as goaltending, as crucial as defense, as crucial as goal scoring and attack play, pace. It's all important, but winning in the draw, winning your face-offs, that can change the game. We saw earlier in the afternoon how important it is. It's going to be important again to control the ball in a game where you're the underdog. You know you're the underdog coming in at 0-7 all time against Loyola. This is an opportunity, and it starts at draws. And if you can control off the face-off, that's going to be crucial in this contest. And even if it's close, even if you're winning a percentage of them, you know, you just can't get dominated at the X in center field. Yeah, and it starts with the trio of Lash, Boyle, and Black. They combined for 71 goals this season. The rest of the team has 26. So it really comes down to those three top players, and we'll see how far they can take them, as well as the play in the crease. Not stating that they don't have the depth, but it certainly starts with their best players, and they are going to challenge anyone for the title this season. Some shine off the helmet at Serafine. It's nice to have some sunshine up here. Last 2 weekends they've played in rainy conditions.
I don't know if that's going to distract anybody for the Greyhounds. Back a game shot. Score! Runke.
First possession, first score, and this is what the Greyhounds' MO is.
Well, that didn't take long. 56 seconds in, and the Greyhounds lead 1-0.
And the defense has to step up there for the Black Knights. It looked like she had a lot of room to get that shot off. It was a quick passing play, and that pace, if they're going to set the pace, that's what it's going to be in this game. Loyola, they can roll over you, and you don't want to get this to draw out too far. As 56 seconds in, you're looking up as the underdog. For the Black Knights, it's 1-0.
Runke.
It completely changed the Army season. Some teams lose some bad games, but if you can defeat a team you've never defeated to inch closer to 500, I think it's a new season if you start the Patriot League play.
So it wipes away the loss
right?
to Siena.
Yeah, listen, you lose to a team like Siena, some bad losses. I think any team can recover when you defeat a team of the caliber of Loyola.
Black charges in.
Your goalkeeper in early.
Black scores. It's 2-0 inside 90 seconds.
Black is one of those players, again, you don't want her to have, the last person you want to have the ball in this situation is Sydney Black. She capitalizes, and that's a tough situation to put your goalkeeper in early in a game, let up a free possession opportunity and allow the goal to go, and it's 2-0. So goaltender doesn't make a big save. That's not a situation you want your goaltender to be in this early in the game, and now you're looking up at a 2-0 score early. That play, and they got upfield fast again off the legwork of Duffy, and Riley's one of those players that's going to have to come up big in this contest.
She became a legend last year with the regular season outburst against Navy. She almost has to score here. Fires over the moon. It was straightened up.
It's the green uniforms. We couldn't see who it was.
Oh boy, it blends in right in that turf, doesn't it?
Broom was very close to the cage and tried to adjust her hands to get that shot off, but didn't have enough leverage. Spence had an assist last week.
Oh yes, if you haven't seen it, find it on Twitter somewhere. Spence threw it downfield. I forget who put it in from midfield, but it was a full ride, I think, by Georgetown, and the ball sailed into the net. So it's not just keeping a ball out, it's helping your offense too.
On top of playing 300 minutes this season so far. He's carving up that defense like a pumpkin early, but just held on to that a little too long. Probably was looking for a better opportunity, but there's no good opportunity unless you let it go.
So Army has all the soldiers back in front of
the rest of the game. Latch with a golden look, cutting into the middle, moving around a defender and using her height to her advantage to try and get that shot off, miss the net. We've already seen a few misses early in a 2-0 contest. It's close. Sydney Black, what footwork for anyone at home. If you want to learn the game, look at Sydney Black's footwork alone.
What's
just
Lacross
dunks it
supposed
past
to do
everything.
there?
I mean, yeah, it kind of frees the defender by moving your legs, and there's a lot of stutter steps involved. I can't even keep up. You got to play that in slow motion to see all the different steps and missteps and fake steps to move the defender and find that small space. That's what great players do. They don't just react to plays, they create plays, they create openings, and even though it was a sliver, she was able to find the back of the net. Defense all game, it's only going to not only wear your team out, but it's not going to allow you to get into a flow on offense. I think the Black Knights are certainly coming into this game knowing who their opponent is. They lost to them last year in the Patriot League Championship game, and they know that they're undefeated. There's a lot on the table here, and they're trying to turn their season around. It starts with trying to get good looks and opportunities in the offensive end and starting to get a flow. We haven't seen them really work it around the clock. We haven't seen all the players get touches yet, especially for the starters of the Black Knights that are going to have to come through this afternoon.
Latch with it.
Saying that they've given up goals within a minute, 7:51 and 8:40, and then 13:32 and 14:04. Slowing it down, really slowing down the pace of the game. And when you don't have control of the ball, it's very difficult to do that. So I think it starts with the draw on the defensive side, at least trying to get the push of the shot clock. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen perimeter defense. It's really been play towards the interior, and they've given up 2 goals in small bunches, but it's now a 4-0 game. I think if you're Tamula, you're saying, you know, slow it down. There's still plenty of time in this game, and obviously there's not a lot to be said yet about the attack. Team's undefeated. They know what they're capable of. They're confident coming into the game. They come out to a strong lead early. They've played almost a perfect game to start.
Their drop pass here. Here they come, score!
Bad news for the Black Knights, as some of the top scorers for Loyola have not even gotten on the board yet today, and we'd expect them to at some point. Great to see for Stapleton to get on the board, her second of the season. Version of energy right there, turning potential into kinetic. The save on one end translates into a goal on the other end from a player that's had a few cracks already this afternoon. Uses a low shot, gets all of it from a little bit of range downtown. Riley gets the Black Knights on the board.
That is her 20th of the season.
Standing at 6 feet tall, she's strong. She's been described by head coach Michelle Tamulo as a beast. We'll see if she's able to enforce her will now that her team's got a goal on the board. A little more desperation, a little more urgency here at the Center X. They're 15-3 in Patriot League play. They earned their first Patriot League Championship game appearance last season, losing 13-8 to Loyola. So these teams are quite familiar with each other as the Black Knights look to crawl out from their hole that they've dug early in this contest.
It was that semifinal win in overtime against Navy that I think got the team into the NCAA tournament for the first time. If they don't win that game, I don't think they get in. Just
hand shot, top cheese, a nice shot, slots it past a goalkeeper that started hot in this contest. She now peels within one of her own teammate Duffy, and no better timing again for Riley to come through in a big moment. They need those support players, they need their top players to perform as best as they can, and they capitalize, converting on an infraction and an opportunity gained upon driving the net. They wouldn't have gotten that if they didn't go to the net. Infractions and the free positions and the neutral zone infractions. It was a choppy first quarter. There was not a lot of flow. I thought Loyola capitalized on their opportunities and made the most of those. They generated them from the ground up. Kudos to their efforts coming in here on the road against a team that's only lost 3 games under Tumulo at Mikey Stadium ever under her tenure. But I thought for the Black Knights, it was very choppy in their attacking zone. They didn't have a lot of possession time and not a lot of time to really work things out. So we'll see if they're able to do that in the second quarter. Why she's 7th in the nation in goals per game, capitalizing, making it look real easy, speeding in, always moving. That has been the key to Loyola's offense today, is how quickly they move their feet. We talked about Black before in a one-on-one situation against the single defender and the keeper. On this play here with a mid-range shot. Goes towards the net, makes a dash and scores. Number 5, Chase Boyle, again with her 2nd of the game. All the numbers make sense right now. All the numbers you see on paper, they're directly on the field right now. You're seeing why those players are so dominant. Everything's making sense. If you're looking at how well the Greyhounds are controlling in the offensive end, it's no question why they're up at 7-2 early in the second quarter.
She's got 20.
Save. You see how fast Black turned around that corner after a high cycle? That was incredible movement by Loyola. Serafini coming up with a big save there, and that's a save you want to start to build confidence on. She didn't even have the ball on her netting for a second. Just got that off very quickly. Incredible seeing eye. In motion, just corralled the ball and let it go. Within seconds, chose a spot, was in the right position, and boy, oh boy, the speed and pace of Loyola is breaking the back of Army this afternoon. From the X to the front of the net, They got that again in motion very quickly. It's 1, 2, 3 passes back of the net. And it's really the Boyle show this afternoon. She's putting on quite the performance. Really impressed by how well she's played. By Black, with the play she made at the midfield to get possession, get the ball, and then join in on the offense. Incredible from their top players. I've really been impressed by Chase. Again, these are two players. Before this game, you're looking and saying they're really good players. They're premier world-class players.
In other words, to borrow a line from the late great Dennis Green, they were who we thought they were.
Exactly.
Stay connected with the Patriot League, its member schools, and its student athletes.
Take your small victories at this point in this contest and try and just build upon what you want for your program. What is the offense you're looking for? What is the control at the X in the middle of the field with draw controls? What do you want out of your goaltender? What are you looking for in specific players? What are you looking for in team play? I think these are all things and all small assignments that you can look at and try and succeed in this game as you're looking and you're down 9-2 in the contest early. En route to the net, was able to pop one, turn on the burners, and beat a defender one-on-one. Way to use her body and frame to move through. Her stick's going one way and another way. She's using her body and back. Listen, a defender can't do much when they're looking at the back of a player. She's able to shift more than one, shimmy through, find a hole between the two defenders and score. Garaik, that's what they'll need from her for the rest of the afternoon. Number 3 coming up bigly with the 3rd goal of the afternoon. Out here, Riley has 6 shots. Garaik has 1. Riley's 4 shots on goal. She had 2 go wide. And Garaik has 1. Other than that, virtually no. It's not a shooting gallery by any means. It's quite the opposite. It's a drought on offense for the Black Knights otherwise.
Loyola with another draw. Could get out. Army. Lenkart goes down. Play continues, and Loyola just restores the natural order of the world. It's 10-3.
An absolute cannon of a shot. I mean, wound up and whipped that thing by Serafini. Absolute cannon of a shot, and she is pumped up as she's pumping up the sidelines right now.
That's a happy young lady right there. Killmeyer gets her first. Another saying, pardon me, it actually goes to Anna Ruby.
Boyle at this point is also looking to see what opportunities she can create, move the ball a little bit, look for those second chances. I don't know if she's going to keep pulling the trigger on her first look as they're cruising and in control, up 7. You're seeing how dominant Loyola is in possession. I mean, our heads have been craned to the right for the last number of minutes. 2 free position opportunities. And they opt to pass on both of them as Lenkert takes that one away. When you're playing tougher competitions, Jen Adams knows when you're going into those games, you're not going to have some of these looks, right? You're going to need to make some plays happen and keep that pace.
And scoring again is Riley.
I thought this afternoon we were going to see 21 as the sole creator on offense. It's really impressive to see how Riley's come into her own and score 3 before the half. 23 really has a nice underhand shot. She's able to pull it to about the mid-torso and let it go. Gives her some angle options. It gives her the ability to shoot low, to shoot high, just on the turn of the head of the stick. So very impressive goal scoring from Riley this afternoon. Possession, and when you can build from one possession to another, it's only going to help the team again. Feel the ball, get their routes going when they go to cut to the net. Try some isolated one-on-one opportunities and see what you can turn into a play. As you mentioned, for Loyola, it's about seeing what plays you can make. You know, you're in command right now, and for the Black Knights, it's playing to get back into this game and playing for something.
Garaik in front, did not take the shot. Quick first step's all she needed, wasn't it?
It wasn't really a hard shot. It was a lofted shot. She knew where she was putting it, over the top of the keeper and let it go. I think the fact that she didn't wind up to take the shot was the advantage. She was able to keep the stick in front of her to distribute the ball in the net. The self-esteem when you're able to score, gain possession, score again, and start to build momentum, right? It's like you want to push the boulder downhill, and sometimes it takes a little while to snowball. Imagine what this does if you're able to score here and cut it to 4 before the half. Duffy, that move is sensational. It's so simple but so intelligent.
Does she have another one here? Is she going to try to drive it?
We talked about Morin for the men's lacrosse team having a wicked shot because of his time as a hockey player. He's able to get some power behind it. Duffy with the skill play there, referring to her backhand to try and take that shot and shovel it in. That was really impressive. I mean, within a minute, we saw some spectacular hand-eye plays by number 21, who's not on the board yet this afternoon. 1:40 on the clock.
It's that lack of confidence right now.
Right.
And how much of that is related to the horrible start Army had? Are they snake-bitten right now up in here?
I think it all has to do with the mental game, right? I mean, that should be an opportunity that even at this point in the game, desperation, 30 seconds left, even if you don't have the best look, just take the shot. Curious to know if this is the only time through a half Duffy has not recorded a point, not only this season, but in her career, her 2-year career. She set the single season record last year.
A lot is expected of her, which, begs the question, what happens if senior year comes and they make her first captain or something? It was Lauren Drysdale, her hockey team. I've got hockey on the break because she's played that sport. Soccer teammate Lauren Drysdale was first captain at West Point last year, was able to balance one and be the team captain of that sport while being the top-ranking cadet on post. To imagine Duffy trying to be that type of leader while being a part of both lacrosse and soccer, that would be a lot on anybody. But if there's any one person who could...
Dazzling and dancing through there, finding a seam, walking through it. I mean, again, it all starts with her footwork. It's incredible to see her foot placement and how she generates incredible speed, almost gets knocked over, a smaller frame there, but she's still able to pound one in the back of the net, and it really has been Boyle and Black this afternoon. There you go. You need your strongest horses to be winning in all the races, and Duffy is able to slot one in. I'd be curious to see where this goes in on the goaltender. A bounce, and then it just taps the netting across the line.
The most impressive part of that play was afterwards, Sophia Nikolai.
2 Australians in my whole life. One was in Italy in 2015. And he made fun of the mascots in American sports. You say Bulldogs, that's a great mascot name. I actually think Black Knights and Greyhounds are 2 good nicknames, and the other was Jacob Bergoni, who was a basketball player at Quinnipiac University in 2021. But have you met any Australians outside of?
I talked with a bunch during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That's how I got hooked on cricket.
Better timing for your top attacker to find the back of the net twice in this quarter. If she can heat up, it's a completely different ball game. New ball game. Valentini capitalizing on a great opportunity, a one-on-one, just let it go. Barely took a step and unloaded that shot. Transition from the midfield into the attacking zone. I think their transition there, if they're able to put the defense on their heels, even if it's while they're setting up a play and activating every player. You saw the way Loyola got the sight up top at the top of the arc. We haven't seen that much from the Black Knights, and I think in doing so, they'll generate more looks and more open opportunities. Within 2, Riley, who has had a phenomenal afternoon. We know she comes up big in the moment against Navy. We saw that last year in tournament play. Coming up with a huge performance this afternoon, working it from behind the net and just dunking a shot over Spence. I mean, that's exactly how you chalk it up. Sometimes it's keeping it simple, just moving from behind the net, finding an opening and scoring from the area the goaltender can't see. Passing plays at the top of that arc. That's what they were doing. They were just dropping it off, looking for reverses, and it draws, well, you said they're doing great from the free throw line, but that's the looks and what the chances they should be generating and trying to look for now that it's a closer game. Move the defense, get them moving, maybe get them to bite on a penalty like they just did.
He has 4 goals today. 5! Army is within 1!
What an incredible fight back from the Army Black Knights. Riley has been all over, 5 goals on the afternoon. She was scoring when they were down. She's scoring when it's a closer game now. Coming through again, dunking on the free throw line, going for a perfect percentage there, but It all started with how they were generating the passes at the top of the key and making the defense move, drawing that penalty to allow her to take that shot. And now that it's a one-goal game, you can say whatever you want about the stats, generating more without those opportunities, but at the end of the day, it's what got them here. From this point on, it's a confidence boost. They are motivated. You can clearly see on the sideline, there's energy again, and Riley comes through in a big moment. Knights alone are 0-7 against them. They lost in the championship last year in a game before then. They didn't play head-to-head in 2020 or 2021, so really under Tumulo, those are the only, that's the sample size we have of games between these programs, and as you mentioned, undefeated in conference play.
Black hops and skips, doesn't.
On defense, they were able to play in a zone and play really well in that zone. It's incredible. They're marching upfield right now, and they have a chance to tie a game and really change the history books today. On the back of some Riley goals, Duffy comes through in a huge moment. You mentioned Superwoman before. She tied on the cape there. Off of, again, great passing play. Peels around the corner, rips it home, gets it quick out of the stick. And now this game's all knotted up. 12-12 in the third quarter. Completely different game than the first half here. In the Black Knights program history, scores the tying goal on last season's goaltender of the year. Incredible stuff here.
Their jerseys.
Great play by Lily Osborne there to break up that pass by Duffy and take it out into the midfield. Barnes certainly on fire right now, Nick. You look in the Patriot League standings, Loyola leading 6-0, undefeated. Army towards the bottom, 2-5. They're above two teams without a victory this season.
We've got a stoppage.
What patience there on the pass. Oh, what a nifty goal.
Oh my.
Carnival style, like a Ferris wheel, completely turned her hands like a clock to find the bottom of the net.
That was fun to watch. Again, this is the women's game. There's no pocket in that stick. You have to have strong wrists and arms, and you have to do it with great speed to do what Anna Ruby just did here. Good feed here by Boyle, and look at that. Oh.
It's like raking when you got to rake some leaves.
Oh my. Ruby.
Completely turned her hands on the stick to tuck that home. That's right, an assist. Someone who's built to distribute the ball and has that eye. I mean, that's someone you expect to make a skill play like that, though, that has those nifty hands, can find those seams, and again, they'll possess.
To win this game, is that the mindset that you're seeing here as well?
You want to put the pressure on the opponent 100%. And listen, there's 47 seconds left here. You want to put the pressure on the opponent. That you want to be in the driver's seat. You want to attack, go down the throat. And I think for the Black Knights, they see their opportunity. I don't think they're going to wane off, back off, try and set up, try and get too cute with it. I think they should go for it. And you saw when the last few goals in their comeback were all about quick play and quick movement. And I think that's what they're going to have to do, strike quickly. This is a team that is 2-5, has an incredible home record under head coach Michelle Tumulo. And this afternoon they can make history if they're able to dethrone the Loyola Greyhounds, who have never lost a conference game since they've entered the Patriot League. Now, they were part of other things that before this. Their program's been around for a number of years now, but in Patriot League play since 2014, they have never lost a game. The Army Black Knights are 0-7 against this opponent, losing in the Patriot League Championship in 2023 to them. This would be sweet revenge.
Well, here immediately was Massey saying, I didn't do it.
Usually that signifies that you did it.
Oh, yes. No poker face there.
Again, Boyle is so good at cutting to the net, corralling the ball, and instantly in the same stroke where she's catching it, releasing it. See how she just comes down with the ball there? Right in front of the net, no defenders on, and she's so good at exposing defenses that way, using a burst of speed to get to the front of the net. Has all the angles and options in the world as she is head on in front of the goalkeeper in Serafini and scores to put the Greyhounds up by 2, 30 seconds into the fourth quarter.
It helps.
Silent killer in this contest. The assist on the goal to open the fourth quarter. She's looked really good. outside of that top trio of Boyle, Latch, and Black. Cross brought another shot and a miss on this end, and we have a really tight contest here through the first few minutes of the fourth quarter. I really like the approach by the Black Knights. They're going for it. They're driving to the net. They're looking for opportunities, and obviously 2 goals is the difference right now, so they're going to need it as quickly as they can get it.
Duffy has to be quick. Time winding down. It's double
4,
teamed.
3.
Can't get it towards the net. Loyola will pick it up.